Agnanatimrandasya Gnanjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Nena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchikalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhyo Vacha Patitanam Pavanibhu Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Gaura Gaura Gaura. So greetings everyone. Today I'd just like to share some thoughts about Prabhupada saying that Krishna consciousness is not an artificial imposition on the mind. So we understand from the Vedas that the intrinsic nature of the soul is that of eternal servant, loving servant of Krishna. Intrinsic nature, just like the intrinsic quality of water, it is wet, that is its nature. So similarly, we're given to understand that the intrinsic nature of the soul is to be engaged in the loving service of Radha and Krishna. That is not something artificial, it is something natural, natural to the soul, natural function of the soul, and spontaneous, automatic, like that. But of course, in the conditioned state, in the state of forgetfulness of Krishna, that dormant love, that love is dormant, it is not awakened. So the soul in that sense is not active, not actively engaged in its natural function of service to Krishna. But we are fortunate in that we are receiving the process, the means by which that natural dormant love is awakened. And that, of course, is the process of bhakti yoga, as given under the direction of the pure devotee of Krishna. Hearing and chanting, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vandanam, Smaranam, and so forth. These 9 processes of bhakti, practicing bhakti yoga, sadhana bhakti, have the effect, under the guidance with the blessings of Sri Guru, of awakening that dormant love. I also remember my Guruji giving one example of a river. Just like when the current of the river is strong, then it cannot be stopped. And whatever obstacles may be on the path of the river are washed away, they are carried away, they do not stop the flow of the river. So in that sense, we can understand that in the perfectional stage, that flow of devotional service, that flow of love and service to Krishna cannot be stopped by anything. It is, of course, fully spiritual. Certainly nothing material can stop that flow of devotional service, even as we understand from Bhagavad Gita that for the perfected soul, at the time of death even, that connection, that loving service mood, that awareness of Krishna is not in any way impeded or stopped by even death. So, and we see, of course, in the lives of the great saints, how that despite all kinds of obstacles and difficulties, they nothing stops their devotional service. We can remember the amazing pastime of Haridas Thakur. He was chanting the holy names, and he was warned, "Now you stop this. You are from a Muslim family. Why are you chanting this Hare Krishna? If you stop, we will beat you. We will punish you." But of course, he didn't stop, and we know that he was beaten in 22 marketplaces, very, very severely. And he, of course, was personally protected by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Those beatings fell on Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, not on Haridas Thakur. He was protected in that way. But he was so compassionate to those that were beating him, these Muslim servants, because they were given the instruction to kill him, and he wasn't dying. So he became very compassionate and said, "Oh, these poor servants, they will get into so much trouble with their master if I don't die. So let me die like that." So he left his body, so it appeared. Certainly, his body was lifeless. So they threw his body into the river, very severely beaten. Can you imagine? But miraculously, these Muslim servants saw that he got out of the river on the other bank, and his body was perfectly intact, and he walked away. And then they could understand, oh, this is one great saint. And they were, of course, very, very afraid that they had mistreated him in this way. So this is example of Haridas Thakur, and of course many others. Prahlad Maharaj, he would not give up. His father threatened him in so many ways. You stop this glorification of Krishna, of the Supreme Lord. But he did not give up. So his father tried to kill him in so many ways. Still, his devotional service did not stop. So these examples, some few examples of great saints to help us understand that this devotional service, this bhakti, is coming from a spiritual platform, and therefore nothing can impede it, nothing can stop it once it begins to flow like that. So as the river becomes more powerful, then certainly nothing can stop it. So today I'm just remembering this and praying to the great saints that I too will one day reach that stage of awakened, blissful Krishna consciousness, unimpeded, uninterrupted by anything, that natural love of the soul for Sri Krishna. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam.